So here we are again with some IL-2, that World War II magic. The mission here is to take out a train, a Nazi train. So we can see here the main map, and it's very important to brief very carefully with this map because I have turned off at long last the option that gives me my location of the mini-map. This is actually a little ahistorical to the information that would have been available to fighter pilots at the time. Once we invaded Germany, and as you can see here, if you look, we're deep into Germany now. This is the Rhineland, so Free France is over here. We've already conquered all of France. So there were friendly radar installations, and Allied aircraft fighter crews were flying with radar support. Yes, they would have been expected to do their own nav. Yes, them asking, hey, what grid am I, would have been considered pretty unprofessional because it would have required the fighter controller to answer what grid that they're in. And encryption was not a thing at the time. However, you would have known about bogeys, you would have known about enemy formations. I'm foregoing all that because I like the navigational challenge, which is going to be a little bit interesting. Our first challenge is to pick up the city of Wassenberg as we head north. Once we hit Wassenberg, heading to 029 will put us at a pretty good spot to intercept our train. Now the thing is here, you'll notice that between all these cities there's these dotted lines. These are the railroad tracks. They're all over the place. I will need to find a specific one visually and find a train on it visually. For that reason, I've eased the weather somewhat. I've been flying in pretty much nothing but thunderstorms for months because I like the challenge. In this case, I relaxed that a little bit out of respect for the fact that no self-respecting strike commander would launch a strike in heavy overcast weather. So we're flying the venerable P38 today. I'm going to go ahead and get my Liebher's paint job. Boop. I like blue. Very blue. You'll notice here, I am going to go ahead and take the fuel down to about 60%. And, ooh, wait a minute, we do not have our proper armament. Now, our AI friends are going to be flying with just these general purpose bombs, but I'm going to go ahead and make some modifications. I'm going to go ahead and give myself some extra 50 cal ammo for some strafing runs. And these are actually bazooka rockets. Same rocket, similar tube, it's just longer. Those who are familiar with the World War II bazooka system will recognize all the little tail end wiring shenanigans that cause those two-man teams much stress in combat. But luckily my ground crew does them up and I don't have to think about them again until I jettison them. So that's the payload: 1 cannon, 4 machine guns, 6 rockets, 2 bombs. Good fighter bomber loadout. And we're going to go ahead and take this and we're going to hunt a train to the soundtrack of my snowboarding playlist, because why not? What's a YouTube channel without a copyright strike or two? Let's go.
Bluebird, cleared for takeoff. Bluebird, taking off.
We're going to take a moment here to appreciate our takeoff strata. Which it looks like we're on one of those weird airfields that's just point yourself at a corner and hope for the best. So good to know. I'm going to go ahead and press the brakes down, full RPM. We're going to give as long as we can hold it. Let's go. And I just want, you'll hear in a second the turbo spin up. That's why I wanted to give the engine every second I could. Alright, 150, 130. We're going to give ourselves just a little bit of flap to get us off the ground here. And then we're going to pull them up along with the gear. We're going to make a right turn to 358 for initial point intercept. we go. Hold it there. Coming back left a little bit. And we're going to reduce power from emergency for the takeoff to continuous. Fuel mixture levers, you'll see them just there in the top left of the engine quadrant, coming back to auto lean. And we are going to trim into this climb. Alright, now that we're trimmed into the climb, we're going to check our altitude here. We're already hovering at about 3,000 feet, which is actually 1,000 higher than called for. For bombing and attack runs, I like to be between 3 and 5, so I don't really want to get too much higher. But at the same time, I also like having altitude to deal with threats, so there's that. There's our escort. Hopefully they overtake us at some point. I think we're supposed to be doing 280, and I'm not going to be doing 280 in the hopes that they get way ahead of us and deal with anything that's in front of us. Big batch of vegetation up there should be the forest that our city is in. Yeah, so you can see the fire. You gotta love war. It makes all the cities burn. Makes them really easy to see. Try not to think about it too far beyond that. It reminds me of the scene in Fury when the new character to the tank crew is freaking out. Brad Pitt's character looks at him, grabs his head, and points it at the smoke in the horizon and say, "Do you see that? That is an entire city on fire. Stop your whining." But of course, I'm an American. I've seen cities burn before. Hashtag Detroit 2008, baby. We didn't let those bank owners take our homes. Well, my family did, but a lot of other families didn't. It looks like our escort's doing something back there. And we're already busting through 7,000 feet, so I'm going to continue to give us nose down trim and pick up some speed. Yep, still on course. And we're still... Okay, no, now we're not climbing. I do not want to end up too high. It makes bombing difficult. You end up breaking the sound barrier on the way down. I like that those 47s are kind of falling back on us a little bit. What's our speed right now? Looks like about 240. And we're just barely losing altitude. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and just throttle back. More sustainable manifold pressure, say 32 inches. And while we're at it, I'm going to go ahead and pull these RPMs all the way back to the green arc. I'll maybe give it back to 35 inches of manifold pressure. So there we go. There's a pretty good cruising power set. What's that doing to our speed? It's holding despite the fact that now we're descending pretty good, which is nice. Coming down through 7 for 6,000. That's more like it. Now we can see the P38 and her happier airfoil neutral, slightly tail down stance. This is what she was designed to do. Oh, wow. Our flaps are still down. I am glad they came back up. We are well over the speed that they should have been retracted. It's changed our trim considerably. So I'm fighting to get to stick neutral again. There we go. And once again, I want a little bit of descent here. We're at our initial point, so we're going to go ahead and turn right to 028. And just a nice slow turn, nothing extravagant. Trying to be accurate here. What's our altitude? 6,000. That's good. Oh, past that turn, 028. As we get into these clouds here. Oh, I hope not. God, it's so annoying. I don't have a scroll wheel on my mouse, so I have to go up to a completely different keyboard, mouse and keyboard set, and it's like a trackpad that I gotta like spread my fingers to zoom on. It's just horrible. All right, come left a little bit, and we're climbing again. Stop it. I will trim out that climb. A really nice thing that we've got going for us here is that our engines are nice and relaxed right now. So there's one city. Is that the first city or the second city? That's the second city. So that's my target city. And if we look here, from the target city, there's these multiple kind of fingers of forest coming out. So I'm going to spend a second kind of identify them. So there's the main finger of forest. And some of the secondary ones. And if we look here, where that finger turns, there's going to be a train track that cuts it, bisects it north to south. And that's our target track. So for right now, we're just going to turn right a little bit. Make sure we intercept that. And we're off 5.5, which is good altitude. Check for fighters. P37 just still with us. I think this is one rail line here, isn't it? Or is that a road? From the south. No, that's a rail line. And where it goes to the city, where it connects up to the city, there's another rail line that goes north. And that's our rail line. Well, I have a very good visual on it, but I can kind of see it. Is there a split as it goes north? No. No, wherever that goes is our target. Oh, I got doubts about that. It should be turning up north. Alright, 4,000. We're going to go ahead and .47's still with us. Alright, so there's that rail line. There's where it turns north and goes through the forest. And there's the train. What's our speed right now? We're doing like 280. Wow, this thing just naturally does cruise at 280. Fast ship. All right. I'm glad you guys see it too. Go for it. Mess them up, guys. We'll have to see how these guys do. There it is. It's in a bend. It's not ideal. I'd rather hit it on a piece of straight track. Oh man, he knows we're gunning for him. He's trucking. I think that straight piece of track right there is probably my best bet. As I look around for German fighters. Our escorts have peeled off. Everyone's kind of hanging out over there. Friendlies are going in for the run. Well, that was... Ooh, no! The back half of the train took some damage. And then there comes the anti-aircraft. Well, hopefully they focus on my friendlies for a minute. Boom! And that was the actual locomotive that just went up. Well, that's good news. Let's make sure that the Nazis don't get anything from this train, shall we? We got some rockets. Let's use them. What's left? Looks like the aft end of the train is still there. And brief check of the sky. I don't see much. I don't see my friendlies either, which would be nice to see them. But that's okay. We'll roll in. I mean, we're just chilling right now. Do I have any rockets left? No, I do not. Ah, and say hello to being a fighter plane again. Let's get ourselves back up to 35 inches of manifold pressure. Alright, I think that's a really good signal to do what we're supposed to do and get the heck out of here. So we're heading south out of the AO. I don't think that's a friendly fighter. Alright, what else is there? Is that it? Looks like it. it on this guy for a while. We need check 6. So far, we're good. Somewhere here. There they are. Shit. I got problems. There we go. Successfully defended. Is he with someone? No? Cool, I'll dance with you, buddy. Now, let's do it. That's my speed right now. Perfect, pretty much. Just gonna want to pull just a little bit to get us at our magic number. He's setting me up. I'm gonna turn into his wingman. Oh wow, no, his wingman was turned cold. Son of a gun. So what's he doing now? Coming around on me like he's supposed to. There it is. Oh! That was a good shot. Can't complain about that. The other question is any of my... Oh, wow, I thought those were P37s. One... No. We got wiped by what? BF-109s? That happens. That's not a bad kill card, though. If you're going to die in action, I guess that's the way to go, huh? One enemy airplane, an entire train. Who knows? I think my commander probably would have liked to keep the fighter pilot. But, yeah, mixed it up. Feels good.